Pat needed some bags of candy for Halloween. He went to the store and got 8 crates, 1 box, and 3 stacks. What number shows this total? Use the chart to help answer the question. All right, so we're going to make sure that we underline the question. That's what students are doing so that they're making sure they know what the question is asking. I'm going to go ahead and extend this chart right here just a little bit. And I'm going to reread the question and see how many of each of the crates, box, and stacks that I have. So I have 8 crates, 1 box, and 3 stacks. Okay, so if 1 crate equals 1,000, then I have a value of 8,000. I have a value of 100. And I have 3 stacks, which is a value of 30. So the answer to this question is 8,130. Using the same chart from question 1, find the correct answer for question number 2. Dad needed to get toys for a new store. How many crates, boxes, and stacks will he need if he needs 3,760 toys for this store? So what I want to do for this one is to create a place value chart. I'm going to write 3,760, underline, and go ahead and write out the values of those numbers just as if we were trying to get expanded form. So 3,000, I'm going to write the value, look to the right, put zeros in sight. Okay, and now I'm going to look at my individual place value values. I'm going to circle 3,000, and I know that thousands are represented in the top chart by 1,000. Okay, so if I have 3,000, I know that I have 1,000 times 3, or 3 groups of 1,000. Now I'm going to look at my hundreds place. I have 700, which means I have 700s. That's represented by boxes. Okay, oh, I'll go ahead and label this one crates. And then boxes, I have 100 times 7, or 7 groups of 100. And then 60, which is my tens. The tens are represented by stacks. So I'll write stacks. And so I've got groups of 10 times 6, or 6 groups of 10. So then, okay, so now I'm going to look at my answer choices and see which one matches my data. So crates, we're going to go through all our answer choices and look for 3 crates. A has 3 crates. B does not have 3 crates, so B is not going to be our answer. C has 3 crates, and D has 3 crates. So now we're down to 3 choices, A, C, and D. We're going to look for 7 boxes in those choices. A has 6 boxes, so that's not going to be our answer. C has 7 boxes, so that could potentially be our answer. And D does not have any boxes at all, so we're going to cross out D. So now we're down to answer choice C, but we still need to check and make sure that that's correct. C has 6 stacks, and we have 6 stacks. So let's go ahead and double check. 3 crates, yes. 7 boxes, yes. And 6 stacks, yes. So our answer is C. Ralph was building a block tower. The blocks have 8 vertices, 12 edges, and are not rectangular prisms. What shape are the blocks? Okay, what jumps out at me is it says specifically it's not a rectangular prism. So I know that A is going to be eliminated right away because it's not a rectangular prism. Okay, so we really only have 3 answer choices that could possibly be it. So that's B, C, and D. I want students to go ahead when they see a question like this to go ahead and draw this shape. All of the shape choices we need to be drawing. So here is a cone. It's an upside down V, the curved line, and then to represent the curve on the other side, just a dotted line. A cylinder, start with a circle, 2 lines out, curved line, and that dotted line to represent the other side. And then I have a cube, so represent that with a square, draw a square on top of it just like this, and then connect each vertice, and that's a cube. Okay, so we're looking for the vertices and the edges. Okay, so I'm going to look for the vertices in each one. Okay, so let's look at the cube and count the vertices. The vertices are where the edges meet and form a point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 vertices. Okay, this cylinder does not have any vertices because it does not have any edges that meet another edge. So there's 0. And then I have here, there's a curve where the curved surface comes to a point. That is a vertice. So a cone has 1 vertice. Now we're going to look at edges. And students should be showing all of this work on their paper so that we can see what their thinking is, and it helps them get the correct answer. Okay, so our edges are where the faces meet, where flat faces meet. Okay, so an edge has to be straight. It is not going to be curved. Some information online will say that a cylinder has 2 curved edges. Well, it does have 2 curved edges, but when we're asking for edges, we're asking for those straight edges and not where a curved surface meets a circular edge. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and count our edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, that's a 12. And we talked about how the cylinder does not have any edges since this is a curved surface meeting a curved face right here. So there's 0. And then the same thing with the cone, because it's a curved surface meeting that flat face, it is not an edge, so there's 0. The only possible answer choice is B. Okay, number 4 really was a question that students were successful on because they looked at the year and they basically saw thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. So I'm going to show you how to explain that to your student if they're still having difficulty. Jack was born in 1986. Which answer best represents the year that Jack was born? Okay, so we're going to take 1986, create that place value chart. Again, that place value chart is not going away when it comes to place value. We have one group of 1,000. Okay, just write the digit, look to the right, put zeros in sight. Okay, and we've completed our place value chart. Students were very successful with this skill, so they should have no problem writing a place value chart. Again, just like in one of the previous questions we talked about, I think number 2, we're going to talk about how many groups of that place value that we have. So when it comes to the thousands place value, how many thousands do we have? And we're going to represent that with one group of 1,000 because that's how many we have. That's the digit. Okay, what is the digit? What is the value of that digit? Are 2 questions that we ask ourselves. Now, on the previous question, we had 1,000 times 1, and it doesn't matter which way you flip these because the value is the same. Okay, and then we're going to have, what is the digit? We're going to ask ourselves, what's the digit? It's a 9. And what is the 9? What's the place value of that 9? It's 100, so times 100. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing for this group. This is in the tens place. What's the digit? 8. What's the value of the digit? Well, it's times 10, so the place value is the tens place. Okay, so really that 8 represents 80. Okay, and then the 6 is in the ones place. So what is the digit and what place value is it in? It is in the ones. Okay, so then we're going to look for answer choices that have this. Okay, so A, B, C, and D. Okay, A, we're looking for a 1 times 1,000. All right, I see 1 times 1,000. This one's 2 times 1,000, so B is not going to be the answer. 1 times 1,000, we're good. 1 times 1,000, we're good. Now let's look at the next one down, 9 times 100. Okay, we're only looking at A, C, and D now. 9 times 100, we're good. 9 times 100, awesome. D, 2 times 100, so that's not the right answer, so we're going to cross out D. Now we're looking for, and I'll go ahead and check these off, so we already did those, 8 times 10. So let's look, we're looking at A and we're looking at C. This one says 7 times 10, so that's not going to be our answer. Let's look at C a little bit more closely. 8 times 10, that's awesome. So we know that we have C is still a good choice. Now let's look at our last value right here, 6 times 1. Do we have 6 times 1? Yes, we do. So C is our answer. Anne wrote a number with 2 sevens. The value of the first 7 is 70,000. The value of the second 7 is 700,000. What could be Anne's number? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start, because I know in 3rd grade that I write at least 6-digit numbers. So I'm going to write out my comma. I know that behind my comma I have 3 spaces, and I know that in front of my comma I also have 3 spaces. So I'm going to go ahead and label these ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and 100,000s. Okay. It says that she wrote it with 2 sevens, so I know somewhere in here I'm going to have 2 sevens. I don't know what the rest of my numbers are, but I know somewhere there's going to be 2 sevens. The value of the first 7 is 70,000. Okay, we have to think about that. 70,000. Okay, that 7 is in the 10,000s place. If I say ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and 10,000s. So in my number right here, I'm going to put that 7 into the 10,000s place just like it is in this number. So ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and 10,000s. I'm going to put that 7 there. I'm not going to put the zeros because the zeros are not going to help me for this problem because I have another 7 that's something else and I don't want to fill in my spaces and then be confused on where my second 7 is going to go. The value of the second 7 is 700. Where is that 7 in this number? It's in the hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. So I'm going to put it in the ones, tens, hundreds spot right here. So I'm going to put a 7 here. Now, I can't fill in any of the other numbers because I don't know what they are. I'm not looking for the value of the number. I'm looking for what could be the number. Okay? So I'm looking for a number that also has a 7 in the tens place and that also has a 7 in the hundreds place. So I'm going to take each of my answer choices and I'm going to write them in the correct place value to see which one lines up. My first answer is 7,708. So the 7 in the thousands place, 7 in the hundreds. Okay, so then I have that 7 in the hundreds place. Now I'm going to go ahead and write my answer choices below this, just so that I can compare each place value. Okay, so the 7,708 does not match because the 7 is in the thousands place. Although I do have a 7 in the hundreds place, it has to have both 7s that are matching. So that answer is not correct. And that was A, not correct. Now I'm going to look at B, 77,109. And now if it helps your student to go ahead and start with the ones place and write, then that's fine too. They can write 9, 0, 1, 7, and 7, okay? And that's answer choice B. Now my 7 matches in my 10,000s place, so we're good to go there, but it does not match in my hundreds place, so B is not an answer. Okay, my next answer is 717,100. Now I also told students to look for clues like if my highest value 7 means 70,000, then I'm probably not going to have that 6-digit number because I can't predict what's going to be in the 100,000s. Okay, so a 7 in the 100,000s, that does not match. And a 7 in the thousands place, that does not match. Okay, so C is not the correct answer choice. Now I'm going to go ahead and write the last one, 7,790. Okay, or I'm sorry, 75,790. Okay, so I'm going to look up at the 7 matches. I'm going to look for the 7 in the hundreds place, that matches. So D